Hello everybody, I'm Emily, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be going through my Depop hacks, Depop tips, also going to talk a bit about eBay because it's what I get asked about a lot on my Instagram, like how do I find nice things on eBay, tips for Depop, how do I not get scammed. So I'm going to be talking about browsing, searching, selling and buying on Depop, and then also buying on eBay because that's something I've got into recently. And then I'm also going to be talking a bit about what I wish they'd change about Depop. I asked a few of my friends, so I've got a little cohesive list of some ideas that could make Depop a bit better. So obviously secondhand shopping is a great way to shop more sustainably, it's better for the environment, recycling clothes, we're not buying new, we're not supporting fast fashion. But it is a privilege to be able to choose secondhand rather than have it as your only option. I have made a video about fast fashion if you want to check that out. But yeah, my hair's a bit wet and my throat's a bit sore, so please ignore that and let's get on with the video. Okay, so just genuinely browsing. I can spend so much time just browsing on Depop. I just find it really fun. So say you find an item you like, go on that seller's account and you might like their style a lot, see who they're following. They might be following more cool accounts. I could literally just get lost in a wormhole of going from seller to seller, like seeing who's liked a certain item. If you find an item you've liked and someone else has liked it, they probably have a similar style. Just going through there, looking on their likes, looking who's like that. Literally you can just get lost for hours looking and you'll end up finding some really cool things. Okay, and then when it comes to searching for specific items, it's really important to use keywords to really find what you're looking for. Maybe search for certain brands you like, or high street brands you like the style of but don't want to directly support them. I wouldn't suggest overloading the search bar with words because you'll probably narrow your search quite a lot, maybe too much. But say you're looking for some flares, blue flares, size whatever. Maybe you want petite, maybe you want tall. It doesn't have to be a cohesive sentence, just lots of keywords. Obviously you can use the filters option and you can set your sizes. You can also change these in your preferences so it just does it automatically for you. A lot of the time I don't really search by size if it's not for something that I want fitted. Say I'm looking for jeans, obviously I'll search by size. But t-shirts and stuff, I'd leave it open to women's wear and men's wear. And I feel like some people get quite disappointed because they're looking for a specific item. Sometimes you are really lucky and you'll find that perfect item, but a lot of times I think go in with more open mind because you might find something that's not exactly what you had in mind but is a lot better. And then when you find a few things that you like them, and then you can kind of go through, compare the prices, compare the descriptions. And also I unlike things when they've been sold because then it's not just clogging up my likes and I get lost and I can't find anything because I like too many things. Okay, so then buying. Please make PayPal. I cannot stress this enough. PayPal is so good. You can use it pretty much everywhere. I use it anytime I can shop if I can. Get into some trouble, PayPal are a lot more responsive than say your bank will be for sorting out scams or getting your money back. So have a PayPal account set up and link it to your account. Also make sure your address is correct and it comes up before you buy it as well. So just always double check, especially if you're like me. And you live at uni half the time and home half the time, make sure you're sending it to the right place. So always check their bio. I've got in my bio, please message me before buying, just in case I'm away for the weekend, so I can just let them know it's going to be an extra more days. But if it says instant buyers on, that means you can just buy straight away and it will get to you, no communication needed. Check the reviews often, if you see quite a couple lower stars, items didn't arrive, maybe be a bit more cautious. But most of the time people do genuinely have good reviews. If you want to know the postage, I've got my postage in my bio, but if you can't find how much their postage is, you can press buy and it'll add the item to your shopping bag and then it'll tell you how much shopping is there. Just remember to remove the item so you don't accidentally buy it. Read the description carefully, look at the pictures carefully. If they put something in the description, it's for you to read. They might be saying there's a couple holes somewhere, or they might be saying they can't pose for a while, or it could say runs small, runs big. Because if you haven't read something right and it gets to you and it doesn't fit, that's on you. It's not their fault because they did state it. But if they didn't state it and they should have, that's a completely different story. And if you feel like something is a bit high, they might have open to offers in their bio. Sometimes it will say fixed price, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to message them. Don't be cheeky with it. But oftentimes people will say oh hey, could you do this for £10 including delivery? So that's just a couple pounds knocked off. Sometimes people say no and that's fine, then you can decide if you still want to buy it for the full price or not. But just don't take the mick because you will just annoy people. And then when you do get your item, hopefully you love it, remember to leave a nice review because reviews can really help a shop out. Hopefully they'll leave you one back saying that you were a good buyer, and it can definitely help someone out leaving them nice reviews. Okay, now selling. Make a pile of everything you do want to sell and get to taking photos, which can be a long and tedious process. I find it's a bit long sometimes, but just put some tunes on, enjoy your day. So you're going to want to check the items for any flaws, and please disclose these flaws because it's not fair if there's a hole in and you don't say that there is. Also make sure it's clean. Like I got an item once, it was just covered in cat hair. Taking decent photos, it makes such a difference. Obviously if you're taking photos just slobbed on a hanger in a dark room, it's going to be really hard to see the item. It's not really going to make people want to click on the item and take a closer look. You only get 4 photos and 1 video, so make them count. Kind of show the front and back, maybe the tag, maybe a different way of styling it, and maybe if there is an imperfection, take a picture of that. I personally prefer to try my clothes on. I used to just put them on a hanger, but I feel like it didn't show the clothes very well, so pretty much for the last couple of years I've been trying them on or getting my friends to try them on if they don't fit me. Flat lays are also really nice, where you get a nice background on the floor, lay the clothes out nicely, and you don't need the absolute best phone to take photos. As long as you've got good lighting and it gives a good depiction of the item, you're absolutely fine. Another thing, when you're selling an item, before you upload it, you can go and search for similar items. So I'm selling a blue Adidas top, I'll search blue Adidas top, I'll see what other people's items priced like, what they're kind of describing the item like, and I'll use that to kind of make my own price and decide how much I think it should be worth, or also how I describe the item. You can also make drafts, so if you are a bit unsure what to price something, you can just save it as a draft and come back to it. You can choose the brand, although there's not a lot of brands, but there is a brand option. And make sure you size it correctly in the description, and also don't use really irrelevant tags. You get 5 hashtags, make them appropriate to the item. So if someone does buy something, maybe they just buy it straight away, maybe they ask you, now you've obviously got to send it to them. I either use brown paper, which I fold over because that can be recycled, or I reuse plastic bags that I get from like other orders. You know, just take off any stickers or scribble anything out. It may not look the prettiest, but it's better for the environment. Fold the clothes nicely, try get them as flat as you can. If you can, try get it through as a large letter. Sometimes obviously it's not applicable, but you know, try fold it as nicely as you can so it doesn't get as crushed in transit. Write the address really clear, because obviously if you write it all rubbish and the postman doesn't know where it's going, that's on you. Although most shops, including myself, kind of say after delivery, not really responsible, it's in the hands of Royal Mail or Hermes or whatever. Also post as fast as you can. It is a bit annoying if you're waiting a week and the item hasn't been posted yet. I'd always try to remember to mark shipped when you have, because it might make the buyer think they haven't even shipped it yet. So it's all just about being prompt. Once you've sold a few things, your feed might be looking a bit messy. And then on your laptop, there is an option on your profile to move sold items down. You can just click that, or move all the sold items down, so you're just left with the, you know, for sale items at the top. And then there's also a rearrange button, which is a bit like moving your apps on your home screen, so you can put your like nicer items at the front or what you want to sell first, and just make it look a bit more cohesive on your account, nicer to scroll through. Finally, I'd just say, like, don't beg, don't be really like aggressive, just be nice. You know, you have it when you've literally liked an item, then 2 seconds later they're like, hey, do you want to buy it? Like, I get your bag, get your coin, but that gets a bit much for me. I'm like, oh god, like maybe if you see someone's liked a lot of a similar item that you're selling and they've also liked yours, you can maybe offer them a lower price. And now things I kind of don't like or wish they'd change about Depop. I wish they'd encourage reviews more. I really wish they'd send you a couple notifications like, hey, did you enjoy this? Have you got this yet? Or even just mark that you've received the item. And also if you're a buyer as well, you can also get reviews. I just wish reviews on both ends were a lot more encouraged, and you got like reminded by Depop or something. I just think it'd be a lot more worthwhile. Improve the website. On the website you can kind of search, but I only really go on the website to move sold items down and rearrange, like I said, but you can't really use it just for like scrolling. It's just not very browser friendly. I know obviously it is an app by nature, but sometimes maybe you might not have your phone and you might break your phone. Like, I wish the website was a bit more useful. I wish it was easier to raise a kind of case about bad reviews when they aren't necessary, and when people are just being rude just for the sake of it, or wanting to get a refund or trying to scam you. This whole like brandy rare culture kind of thing going on. People selling tops, little tank tops for nearly like £90. It just blows my mind. Like, I just don't really feel like that's what Depop is about. It's not just brandy stuff, it's anything, any Y2K thing. People literally hike the price up ridiculous amounts, and it just kind of takes away from the fun of the app. People might go to charity shops, buy a top for like £2 and put it on Depop for about 30. I get it's your business, I respect the hustle, but you know, that takes away from the charity shops where people actually, you know, need to shop for clothes, maybe people who don't have the option to choose second hand. And it just makes fashion a lot less attainable to many people when you're charging such ridiculous prices. Obviously I know no ethical consumption under capitalism. I just wish that kind of element of Depop wasn't as common, because again, I just think it takes away the fun. I asked a lot of my friends and they said they find it hard to find items. Like, there's the new explore page, but then there's also your feed. Obviously there's so many items on there, which is a good thing, but sometimes it can be very hard to find certain items, so maybe making the filtering system easier, removing unnecessary tags from people's posts so they don't mess up your search. Depop isn't just for secondhand clothes, you know, it's for handmade stuff. This is handmade from Depop, jewellery. So yeah, I wish they'd kind of promote that more and showcase what the wide range is available on Depop, instead of just like the same 5 like super famous sellers. Drop shipping. So drop shipping, if you don't know, is where people buy items from AliExpress, Shein, Romwe, and then will send it to you for a much higher price. Say there's a skirt on Shein for £4, you might see it on Depop for like £12, £30, like it can get really ridiculous. The best way to look out for this is in the caption. It'll say available sizes. They might have different sizes, small, medium and large. It might say something about long shipping, like 2 weeks for shipping. The pictures might not be theirs, they might be like quite professional looking. And also if you go on their reviews and they've sold the same item like a bunch of times, that's definitely drop shipping. Again, respect the hustle, I guess, but I just think it's not a very like moral way of earning money. I don't know, because you're marking up items so much, and it sounds like such a first world problem rant, but I know I'm not the only one who thinks like this. So yeah, just watch out for drop shippers, especially if you're trying to reduce your fast fashion intake. So that's everything for Depop, so let's talk a bit about eBay. I recently started using eBay, especially in lockdown. I got a bit more into it, but it can be a bit harder, a bit more daunting than maybe Depop. Best way to find things, just like Depop, keywords, 90s, Y2K, vintage, retro, all things like this. Top, t-shirt, whatever you're looking for. Once you've searched something, very important, go to the filter, select condition and select used. This will filter out all the new like fast fashion, you know, kind of wholesale products, and will just give you purely second-hand products. I think it's important to check often and a lot, like check every couple of days your favourite keywords. If you're trying to find an item, check every few days, because things get uploaded quite a lot. And obviously you can watch items, you can put them on your watch list so you can bid on them. Be patient, it's a bit harder to find items on eBay, but I think the items you can find on eBay sometimes more unique than the ones on Depop, and sometimes a bit cheaper because they might not be from someone who necessarily knows about like Depop hype or like is into vintage clothing. They just happen to be selling something, so you might be able to get a bit more of a bargain. Set timers for the auctions. Obviously you put your maximum bid in and eBay will bid for you. So say you have an idea you want to set 12, I wouldn't set it as 12 like a few weeks before the auction, otherwise you're just going to drive the price up and you might decide you want to pay more for it. So you know, within the last few minutes of the auction, set your price and then see if anyone's bidded higher than you. Then you can decide if you want to take that bid higher or you're just going to leave it. Get a bit of an adrenaline rush like in the last few minutes of an auction, watching the price go up. But if you have won the auction, you do need to pay unless you try work something out with the seller, but usually you can't back out and you do need to buy that item, so keep that in mind. Don't just bid on something willy-nilly. Also check the shipping. Shipping's normally a bit more expensive on eBay because you have to set to eBay's prices, you can't just choose your own shipping. Add stuff to your watch list, because if someone is selling something not on auction, they're selling it buy it now, they might offer you a discounted price. That happened to me a couple of times, but you might not be the only one getting that offer. So if they do reduce it, say 25%, they might have sent that to the whole watch list. So you know, be vigilant, have your notifications on, and you might get that item for a bit cheaper. So I think eBay is really fun. I think it's a bit of a trial, just try it out for yourself, see if you like it or not. It's a bit different to Depop, obviously. You can select buy it now and you won't get as many items, but it's a bit less stress, but the auction is fun. You can get some good steals. But I would say if you see something really, really cool for a really low price, have it set in your mind it probably isn't going to stay that price. If it's got a lot of watches, the likelihood is the price is going to go up a lot. So don't get your hopes up too high because you might get disappointed, but yeah, it can be really fun. I haven't sold anything on eBay unfortunately, so I can't really comment about that, but I'm sure it's pretty straightforward. So I think that's all my tips and everything about Depop and eBay. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know a lot of people had requested a kind of video like this. If you do have any more suggestions or tips, let me know. I'm sure someone will really appreciate it. Again, I'm not saying I'm like the queen of Depop, but I have been using Depop for quite a few years, but more recently as my like main source of clothes. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was useful, maybe encourage you to use Depop a bit more, try eBay. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, follow me on Instagram down below. I've got all my social medias linked there, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.